Hey guys, it's Chris here. Welcome to another video. Today we're actually at the Italian coastline here in Italy. We're at the Cinque Terre, which are the 5 villages which are pretty famous here in Italy. These villages are very beautiful because they're at the Italian coastline, and the coastline here is very steep. It's a very mountainous region, and we decided to come here over the weekend from Austria. We took about a 7.5-hour drive from Salzburg, Austria. And yeah, we arrived here yesterday. Stayed overnight in Levanto, which is a village in the northern part of Cinque Terre. Levanto is actually north from Monterosso al Mare, which is not part of the Cinque Terre, which is not part of the 5 villages, but Levanto is a bigger city. We stayed there overnight, and then we started trekking in the morning at about 9 o'clock. And our first trek was from Levanto to Monterosso al Mare, which is the first city of the Cinque Terre. So if you hike the Cinque Terre, there are 5 villages. You can either start from Monterosso, which is the most northern city, or you could start from Riomaggiore, which is the most southern city, and then you could trek up the 5 villages from south to north or from north to south. I definitely recommend trekking from north to south because the treks were a little bit easier. You'll do steep downhills, but you can decide after the video which trek you want to do yourself. You can of course take the trains if you want to. If you want to trek all 5 cities, it's pretty tiring. It'll take you the whole day. We actually did all 5 cities except for one part of the trek. Yeah, the treks were really beautiful. We started in the morning. They are not too technical. You definitely have to be careful, especially in the morning. You know, you'll have paths which are a little bit wet. So definitely take some good hiking shoes with you. If you go in the summer, I definitely recommend to bring lots of water and yeah, just lots of water and food to take care of yourself. You know, sunscreen and some light clothing. And yeah, you're in the coastal line, so I definitely also recommend to bring a rain jacket. Yeah, so definitely be prepared if you decide to trek the Cinque Terre. It is a long trek. It took us about 22 kilometers and about 1,200 meters in elevation gain. Okay guys, we're about 5 kilometers in, and we've done about 300 meters in elevation gain, and it's really beautiful. The trails are amazing. You can see the ocean behind me. Amazing. And yeah, 5 kilometers, we're headed to the first village. We'll get some food there. And yeah, have a really good day. So we're about 6 kilometers in, and we have about an hour, according to the signs, left to our first village. An hour. It'll take us, we'll probably be a little bit quicker, but yeah, just had our first snack, like an Italian muffin. Just trying to stay fueled. So yeah, so when the trek from Levanto, the northern city, we trekked to Monterosso al Mare, which is a really beautiful trek. I definitely recommend it. I know it's not part of the Cinque Terre trek because from Levanto to Monterosso, it's a little bit of a longer trek. So from Monterosso al Mare, you will actually have to buy a ticket for the next 2 treks to pass the next 2 cities. So you can actually buy the ticket directly at the trekking point, so you don't have to go to a tourist office and get the ticket ahead of time. And actually I think you can buy the tickets online, but they would be, for some reason they're a little bit more expensive if you buy them online, so you can definitely just buy them at the trekking point. You can pay with card as well. When you trek the Cinque Terre, it's usually trekking downhill to a village and then uphill again once you leave the village. And the uphills and downhills were pretty steep, I must say. As I said, we did about 1,200 meters in elevation gain. Okay, we just passed the first village. We're about 11 kilometers in. We've done about 600 meters in elevation gain. And yeah, headed to the next village. Hopefully get some lunch there, so yeah. But it's going pretty good. The uphills are tiring. Yeah, Monterosso al Mare to Vernazza. Really beautiful trek, but I must say it was actually the busiest of all the routes. The paths were very tight, so it was really difficult to overtake people. We didn't have a lot of time. We wanted to do all 5 cities in a day, so we did want to do a lot of downhill running and some running in between, but we were a little bit slower due to the crowds. So yeah, just walking along the coastline. It's getting warm now. Thank you, danke. Grazie. Vernazza. Here, the trails are pretty tight, so it's hard to overtake people, but it's good for us, so we are forced to take our time and not get too exhausted. Don't want to get too exhausted. My 110k trail in 2 weeks. Less than 2 weeks, actually. It's Sunday. It's going to be on Saturday the 15th. Oh yeah, beautiful coastline. Some sunshine. Vernazza would be the next city we reached. Vernazza is one of the most beautiful cities from the Cinque Terre. You can see the views are amazing. Definitely stop and make a lot of pictures and enjoy the views there. Yeah, Vernazza was a very, very busy city. So it's actually the city where we decided to get some food, get some lunch. We actually got some calamari, pizza, focaccia. It's actually very famous for pesto, this region. But yeah, Vernazza, really beautiful city, very crowded though. So we were actually here on the weekend and yeah, decided to get some lunch, rehydrate, drank lots of water, electrolytes, and then started trekking again. So we're leaving the second village and headed to the third village, but it's going uphill. It's more than uphill, it's more like steep. Tiring, but we got some food in and yeah, take our time. The next trek would be from Vernazza to Corniglia. This was one of my favorite treks. There were not too many people, it wasn't too crowded, maybe it was the time of the day, but the views in the mountainous regions were very beautiful here. When you trek from Vernazza to Corniglia, you actually see Corniglia from the top. And it was really beautiful. Yeah, Corniglia is actually the only city in the Cinque Terre, or a village, which doesn't have access to the ocean. So because it's a little bit up on the mountain. You come to Corniglia and you take the train. The train is actually, the train station actually is a little bit further away. So if you stop with the train in Corniglia, you actually have to trek a little bit. I guess you have to do at least 100 meters in elevation gain, so you're forced to do a little bit of trekking there. Yeah, definitely worth it to see Corniglia, but as I said, you know, you'll have to walk a little bit, a couple steps. Yeah, Corniglia, really beautiful. We didn't stay too long. And from Corniglia to Manarola is actually the trek where we decided to take the train. due to closures. The path was actually closed due to landslides, and you could actually trek around Corniglia to Manarola through the mountains, but that would have cost us at least 500 meters in elevation gain and about 5 kilometers extra. So once, I believe they said that the path would be open again in 2024, the trek from Corniglia to Manarola would actually not be too far. So you're actually walking towards the train station, already trekking part of the trek, so you wouldn't, it felt like you would already be halfway there if you reached the train station. So yeah, at the train station we bought our tickets. You can buy the tickets directly at each stop. So we paid about €5 for each ticket one way, from one village to the other. If you decide to take the train for more villages, or you want to take the train to all of them, you can buy a pass where you can use the ticket all day. And I think it's about €18 for that ticket, so you would save a little bit of money. Definitely worth it. So yeah, Corniglia to Manarola, we took the train. In Manarola, we got out. Manarola was also a very beautiful city. Manarola was actually a very nice city. If you are trekking in Manarola, or you decide to stroll around the city, it's actually a really good place to get good viewpoints and make good pictures where you don't have to do a lot of hiking. So yeah, here we have coffee in Manarola. Definitely need some caffeine. We stopped at a coffee shop, took our time, stayed in Manarola a bit, took some beautiful pictures, and if you see the famous pictures of Cinque Terre, it's usually a picture of Manarola. So yeah, Manarola is definitely also a must-see village if you're here. Stayed here a little bit, and then we decided to get to our next trek, which would actually be the shortest route. Manarola to Riomaggiore. It was our last stop, so we were a little bit tired. It is very steep, the uphill here. Just headed to the last village now. We're headed from Manarola to Riomaggiore. And we've done about 21k, about 1,000 meters in elevation gain, and headed to the last village, and then we've done it. We only cheated on one stop. We took the train from one village to the next because the trail was closed due to landslides. But we walked everything else. Okay, it's pretty steep here. A pretty good day so far. If you decide to do trek from one village to the other, if you just want to do one, I would definitely recommend Riomaggiore to Manarola, or the other way around, because it's not so far. And I definitely recommend to trek at least one village to the next, at least one, because it's just, you get a lot more from the views, and the nature is just a lot more beautiful, as opposed to just taking the train to each village. So at the end of the day, we reached Riomaggiore. We were actually pretty lucky here because once we were at the train station, a storm actually came in, and it was raining. Yeah, so we're pretty lucky there. The trails were still dry when we came down, and then the storm came, and yeah, the rain came when we were at the train station. So yeah, our final stop was Riomaggiore. The trek took us about approximately 8 hours, you know, with having lunch and doing a lot of filming. So yeah, these are definitely one of the most beautiful trails I've ever been to. I definitely recommend Vernazza and Manarola. Those two villages are definitely a must-see. The other ones are also pretty nice. You know, Corniglia is up in the mountains. If you're a trail runner and you're pretty fast, I definitely recommend to go during the week in the off-season, because the trails are just packed. So we couldn't go as fast as we wanted to, but we didn't have any stress. We had no time issues. We didn't even know there was a thunderstorm coming until it was actually here, so we were pretty lucky there. But yeah, if you want to trail run the whole thing, then go during the week and very early, then you won't have too many crowds that you need. Especially from Vernazza to Corniglia, you know, the paths were very tight and it was really hard to overtake people there. Anyway guys, I hope you liked the video. Let me know if you've been to the Cinque Terre and what you thought of it. Have you trekked it or did you take the train? And if you haven't been here, I definitely recommend coming here one day. It is really beautiful, especially if you're into hiking or trail running. It's definitely worth it. Anyway, please like the video guys. I hope you like the views. Subscribe if you haven't already and watch out for new videos. Thanks for watching guys. See you next time.